Miss by Kobe Bryant, and the wide open shot from Green. And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
A good open look, and he splashes home the three.
Lakers have gone 2 of 3 here to start off the game. Clarkson kicks to Bryant. Hill sets the screen for Bryant. The 11-footer, good as the jump shot falls.
Good job there, Kevin, getting himself a little space on the inside.
Parker kicks to Splitter. Leonard attacking. Parker outside, shoots it, and another basket for San Antonio.
They're off and running. Good start here. They've knocked down 4 of their first 5.
Lakers have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Clarkson passes to Kobe. Davis setting the pick for Kobe. Over to the left wing. Clarkson kicks to Kobe. Lakers working the ball around now, and out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
Clark, you think of how much success the Spurs have had, and it's almost as if they can plug anyone in, and they are immediately on the same page and working as a unit.
Well, they make it look easy, but there's a lot of work that goes into that. They evaluate the players they bring in, wanting to fit them into a culture that already exists, and the continuity and consistency you get from the top down. Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan. When you got those guys in place, then you throw in Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. And you've got a group that you can win with for a long time, and they've done just that. I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Out to the wing. In low to Davis. And Splitter pulls it down.
It is with the Spurs, as you said, a matter of anyone wearing their uniform has a complete understanding of what they need to do on offense or defense to win.
And he goes in for the dunk.
Wow, they are just red hot, guys, not missing a thing.
Sometimes you see a player get on a tear like this, Steve, but never an entire team.
Here's Clarkson. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
And you know, with the Spurs, I remember games last year where their stars were out or being rested, and they would still win games because of the strength of their reserves. And they didn't have to make adjustments as they marched through the playoffs. They basically kept on keeping on, doing what they had done all season.
Green kicks to Splitter. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, going into last season, Thiago Splitter accepting a full-year, $36 million extension, Steve, from the Spurs.
A lot of people questioned the value of that contract, but Splitter more than earned it with his play throughout the regular season and in the playoffs. He's versatile, he can pass, he can defend, and even though his numbers were down a little bit last year, he made tremendous impact just in terms of their interior play.
Lakers shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
Yeah, basically a middle-of-the-road type free throw shooting team, about 76% a year ago.
The Spurs making a switch here. Baines is checked in, and Los Angeles making a change here as well. Ellington's checked in. Now here's Randall. He's covered by Ginobili, and Randall throws it down.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted, the aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
And Splitter, clearly, when you look at him offensively, is not a floor spacer. He's a guy who's going to finish inside. He's going to set solid screens. Even though he plays close to the basket, his field goal percentage dropped by almost 10% over the last couple of seasons. And he was once superb in that area. Now he's just rock solid. But with the Spurs, in his role, rock solid is good enough.
And so it's the Lakers with it, following the bucket by the Spurs. He lobs up the alley-oop pass. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And here they go. It's intercepted. And the Spurs pushing it up now. Here's Bellinelli. No good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
Splitter still shooting over 90% of the shots in the paint, but less effective down low. Injuries perhaps a factor. We'll see if he can bounce back. Well, you knew he'd win that race.
Definitely. I mean, that's what you call early offense.
Ginobili outside. It's off his foot. And the official saying it was kicked. Diaw, the screen. Dishes it to Baines. Feeds it to Bellinelli. Just 5 to shoot. Passes to Ginobili. And here's Mills for 3. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Lakers trail by 4. Ellington dishes to Lynn. Young, a screen on Ginobili. Lynn kicks to Randall. Shoots from 12. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle on a lot of contact there. Lakers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. He makes 1 of 2 that time. And the wide open shot from Ginobili. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for San Antonio.
And they're doing a fantastic job of finding the open man and getting easy looks.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, last season's Coach of the Year, one of only 3 coaches to win that award 3 times. He's also a 5-time NBA champion as a head coach and really has been the model for consistency and excellence as a head coach, as a leader of his team in San Antonio. They've won 50 games, 15 consecutive years now, and clearly players are a big part of that, but his leadership and his ability to relate to his team and to get them to be a team is something that will send him right to the Hall of Fame when he's out with them.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. On the court for San Antonio. In the backcourt, Parker and Ginobili. Duncan is out there with Splitter, and it's Leonard in at the 3 slot. It's stolen by Johnson. Lynn with it. He's picked up by Parker. Hill sets the screen for Kobe. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Lynn's got his first basket. And Popovich, the longest tenured NBA coach by far, 18 seasons, and Steve All with this San Antonio organization.
Well, he's actually the longest tenured coach in any of the 4 major American sports. And, you know, what an incredible run he's had with the Spurs, leading them to a winning record in 17 consecutive seasons. Longest such streak in NBA history. Wow, this has been a thriller. I mean, the way these teams are battling, just going back and forth.
Would you like to bet that this game may end on a buzzer beater? How much would you bet?
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, Kevin, as you know, Tony Parker is now an elder statesman in the NBA. His father feels as if he's been a mature force since he started playing at the French Training Institute. Parker's father said, quote, "I don't think you can get any more mature than that. Leaving home at 14, you have to become a man on your own." Guys?
Thanks, Doris.
Tremendous dedication to the game. It's great to remember just how far he's come.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Ed Davis is checked in for Randall, and it's Clarkson in for Jeremy Lin. Clark and Steve, this tug-of-war game continues.
You know what? And they just keep flip-flopping the lead again and again and again.
Yeah, how about that last lead change, guys? That's number 7 for the game. And that's a shot he had to take.
For sure, it was a good decision, just poor execution.
That's good from Ginobili on the assist by Parker. Parker's got 3 assists now in this one. Lakers trail by 3.
You know, I get the feeling that Tim Duncan would make a mean poker player. With his reluctance to display emotion on the court, it's pretty clear when he's on the court, the big fundamental is all business.
Daniel Green, he's checked in for San Antonio. Now here's Johnson. Bryant drives in. Good on the shot. Kobe's got 6.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on him.
And you talk about Duncan's reserved demeanor, snubbed from the All-Star game last season, but you never hear him complain. That's just not how he does things.
And Tim Duncan gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Clarkson. Pass to Bryant. Hill sets the screen for Bryant. Right side Davis. Shot clock at 6. Kobe attacking. The 15-footer, good. Kobe's got 6 here in this quarter. And for Duncan, as respected Clark as he is, you wonder if he's gotten the recognition that he truly deserves.
Well, it's like a lot of things, Kevin. Sometimes you don't truly appreciate it until it's gone. But he's one of the 10 best players of all time in my book. Consistency, high-level performance, championships, every measure you use to evaluate him makes him one of the 10 best to play.
So it's the Lakers now, following the three-point attempt by Tony Parker. And the call will be against Tony Parker. And the Spurs with some changes. Baines is checked in, and Boris Diaw is subbed for Tim Duncan. Boozer, he's checked in for Los Angeles. And the Lakers with possession here. Only giving up 6 here in this quarter. Offensive rebound, and blocked. Now, here's Green. 5 points in the game. Here's Baines. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. And the Spurs lead by 1. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
Well, neck and neck, how about that? I mean, ferociously competitive. I mean, tight as me in an airplane bathroom.
And it's Davis with the jam. Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Plenty of daylight on that shot. 6 points for Kawhi Leonard.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
Baines passes to Mills. Green dishes to Diaw. Up and in on the layup. Now it's a 4-point San Antonio lead.
And assists like that have typified their effort today. Great ball movement.
Really an example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
A lot of people thought that Danny Green would build on his play from the 2013 playoffs last season, but it's marred by injuries and underwhelming performances from him. Definitely not what he or Spurs fans were hoping for.
And some changes here for the Lakers. Young comes in for Wesley Johnson. And Ellington is subbed in for Kobe. Here's Clarkson, covered by Mills. Here's Boozer. It's hauled in by Diaw. Diaw's got his 3rd rebound on the night. And Danny Green last season, a dip in his field goal and 3-point percentage club.
You know, he hit a slump around the middle of the season, but he finished strong. Still a highly efficient scorer in their offense.
You know, even from here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
Yep, it's pretty obvious. And a good call by the official.
Bellinelli, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. The Lakers also changing it up. Randall's checked in for Davis, and it's Jeremy Lin in for Clarkson.
He did the important part at the line there, the heavy lifting, if you will. Made this a 2-possession game.
Ellington kicks to Lin. Now the feed to Ellington. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Randall, and that misses everything.
Well, he had to fade away there. The defense was all over him, and he got it off, just couldn't get it to go.
There's the dish to Diaw, and there's a nice one-handed slam. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
I like that they're taking it inside and taking advantage of each opportunity, Clark, to chip away at the deficit.
Yeah, and doing it with the dunk is a major energizer, too. Gets the momentum going.
Yeah, and I think the interior defense, as good a job offensively as we saw. The defensive presence was almost non-existent. They may see this lead disappear if they continue.
And that concludes the first half. It's San Antonio. Well, both sides have assessed what they